Hello, fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Talk Film to Me podcast, where I talk about films in Kenya and beyond. I'm your host, Nkatha. Let's talk film. So today we are going to be talking about Act of Love. It's a short film. It's about 26 minutes, 27 seconds long. It's a drama. And I would say it's quite a poignant film, exploring the journey of motherhood, maternal love, resilience, and the harsh realities of motherhood. Harsh realities. It literally forces us to have, or rather to confront, uncomfortable truths about the fragility of life and motherhood, and literally just the journey of motherhood as a whole. The lengths a mother will go for her child, and the effects that journey has on the mother. So this film is directed by Eric Mwangi. It's written by Shelley Gitonga. An interesting thing, part of the story is borrowed from her personal experience. She's a mom, I think a mom of two. And so the story is part of what she went through. So I would definitely say if it's a writer writing from a point of their life story, you're quite certain that the story is good because it's authentic and it's original. Then the producers, we have Naomi Mboro and Charlene Wangari. Naomi Mboro has acted as Cindy in Kina. So obviously, if I say that, you know who I'm talking about. Then Charlene Wangari was Shish in Tahiti High. Obviously, we can never forget that face. We grew up watching these people. Something interesting that I will first mention, like this is the first time I'm mentioning such a detail in any review, is the budget. I stumbled across this information online and I was like, that is something that rarely happens. Every film that I have reviewed, I have not been able to find the exact budget that these people had, maybe except volume. And I'm pretty sure I was not, like the amount that I mentioned was not the real amount. Could have been more. Honestly, could have been more because I only mentioned one producer or one executive producer who was involved in the project. If you haven't listened to my review of Volume, I did it with director Superman. Go and listen to it. The production budget was 20,000 euros for this film. Right now, that's about 3.5 million. Yep. Do I think the money was used well? Yes. You should see the crew list and the actors. You will definitely know that yes. Yes, we definitely see how. They had Jim Bishop as their DOP. If you've never heard about Jim Bishop, Jim has done quite a number of commercials and also documentaries. I know some narratives as well, but I'm not well conversant with the narratives that he's done, or other fiction films that he's done. But I know of some documentaries and definitely commercials for Betika, Barclays, Coca-Cola. I'm like, okay. And for documentaries, the one about the rhinos, I can't remember the name, but yeah, I've seen his name in and out. I think he also hires out equipment, so he's quite good at what he does. Where can you watch this film? You can watch it on mymoviesafrica. So mymoviesafrica is an app which does not require you to subscribe. It's not the way you subscribe to Netflix. And I'm not trying. Well, let me just. So mymoviesafrica. I mean, I know something in marketing. You cannot market something while putting down the other. But I'm just showing you a cheaper option here. My Movies Africa, you don't need a subscription and you can rent a movie for 7 days. And then once you're done watching it, that's it. So you can actually rent Act of Love for 7 days at 150 bob. Literally just 150 for 7 days. So you can choose to watch this with your friend. And you can also cast onto our TV or whatever device that you're using. Watch your film after 7 days, it's gone. If you want to own it for more than 7 days, or rather own for life, it's 400 bob. So I think that's quite a good deal. That's quite a good deal. So if you haven't watched the film, it's literally just 150 bob. Download My Movies Africa, go watch. Also, there's some free movies on the app. Nairobi Half Life, if you've never watched, it's there and it's absolutely free of charge. So if you're looking for a movie to watch this coming weekend, and you're like, I don't have money, I don't want to pay for Netflix, I don't want to pay for Showmax, I don't want to watch movies on YouTube, then download My Movies Africa. It's free and the movie is there and it's free. Look for the free options. There are cheap options. Some you can rent for 99 bob. So get onto the app. Anyway, enough with the free shoutouts. Let's get to the film. The synopsis of the film. This film stars, I've not mentioned the stars. So we have Juliana and we have Anna. We also have Naomi Mboro. I know she's a producer and an actor. What a way to cash in. I would do the same. No lie. We have God, I am always unable to spell his name, so I just call him Jora. But it's El Shafan? Something like that. But I know I'm sure about the second name. It's Njora. Jina Kwanza, my God, I'm just unable to pronounce it. And other people, Millicent Ogutu, Julianne Rowe? Julianne, I'm not so sure now about the others. Maybe I've seen them in other films, but it's not enough for me to remember their faces. So this story follows Juliana. It starts with a baby shower, which it looks sort of like a montage. It's not like we're really there. It's not like it's in the present moment. It's something that happened. And then an alarm and Juliana wakes up. She's holding a baby. And from what you can see from the environment, you can already tell unaumia in Nairobi. Umesota. So already we're talking about set design here. It's like it just gives off somebody who's struggling, somebody who is in a neighborhood that you wouldn't want to be with a child, but she's there. She wakes up, holds the baby, puts the baby to bed, and puts on some water. I'm not so sure which comes first, but there's a bang on the door. First thing, even before like the film started, and look at you like, mwenye ananocks at show mtoto na venye mtoto anakaa amelala peacefully. And you can look at the mom, no, the mom has not slept well. And I was like, cuckoo, some knocks. And the baby, of course, starts crying. And it's the landlord telling Juliana, you have not paid rent, you've been saying you'll pay, yada yada, today is the last day that I'm giving you. And Juliana comes up with excuses. I think that's what they are. Excuses saying, I will pay, I was even just about to come to you. They're excuses that people give to their landlords. If you're a landlord, we understand you. If you're on this other side, like me, who's still, renting houses, then yeah, you know that struggle. So yeah, and Juliana says, okay, I will sort you out. And she has an interview on that day from what we get. And a neighbor by the name Mokami had promised to watch the baby. Mokami tells Juliana, leo sitaweza because Mheshimiwa has called me for his campaign, but don't worry, you'll be fine. I also went to campaigns with my baby on my back when the baby was 1 month old. And I'm like, wait, what? But, I guess I was still hopeful that Juliana will find somewhere or somebody to watch her baby as she goes for the interview. Because from my understanding, because kuna daycare, so like maybe atampeleka daycare, or maybe there's a friend she'll call from those baby showers, which leads me to something that I had almost forgotten. I had left a question on my Instagram page for those who follow me on Instagram. If you don't, it's talk film to me, talk_film_2_me. Talk film to me. I'm sure you'll find it. Please follow me. Thank you. So I had asked any young mom, when are the friends that you had during your baby shower, have they showed up for you when the motherhood journey started, like when the baby came? Did you ever see those friends that were with you on your baby shower, the ones that planned for you your baby shower in most cases? or did they just disappear? And during your motherhood journey, were there days that you felt like, I just wanted to stop, I just want a break, I just want to breathe? I'm sure most mothers can relate. So this film, like from the first second, you can already see the problems that Juliana is going through as a mom, as a young mom. Of course, first question is shanza kujiuliza, baby daddy yako wapi? Where's the man? Where's the man? First of all, we also get that Juliana had a job as a waitress at a restaurant, but she's an accountant. So you could tell either she probably lost the job or she had to stop the job altogether in order to take care of the baby, and now she's trying to bounce back up. Clearly, they're in a neighborhood where she's not doing well. She needs to look for money because there's no man around and do better for herself and the baby. So, sorry about that, guys. So, she enters a matatu. And the journey is so uncomfortable because baby Anna keeps crying. Crying and crying and crying. Now, I have been in this situation with a mom in the bus whose baby is crying. Unashanga tu, mama si ape mtoto wake maziwa, ama amchange diaper, ama amtoe nguo. That's what most of us do. Trust me, when you watch this film, you start seeing things in different perspective. Because literally that would be me, but after watching this film, I'm like, by the way, kwani nafikiria mama hajui anafaa kufanya hizo vitu juu anamwambia? You giving this unsolicited advice to this mom. You think this mom does not know these things? So somebody tells her, hey, madam, sutulize hata mtoto kidogo, make your child stop crying. And another one, mpe nyonyo, like, breastfeed your baby. Feed your baby. Why are you keeping the child hungry? That's why it's crying. You think the mother does not know this? And the girl who was seated beside Juliana the whole time is just rolling her eyes. She looks like a Gen Z, like me. Rolling her eyes like, huu ni nini na mtoto wake wananililia hapa, wananipigia makelele, ni asubuhi, tunaenda job. Ni nini hawa wanalia? What is wrong? So unyamazishe mtoto wako. And trust me, if you're not a mom, it's very easy to make or pass these judgments to these moms. If you watch this film, I think your mindset will change a bit. You'll start now looking at the baby from the mother's eyes, and you're like, even the mom probably doesn't know what's wrong with the baby. It's a baby. They still don't know how to talk, how to express themselves. You have to keep learning them and unlearning some things and then learning again and unlearning some things. It's a tough journey. It's a tough journey. And honestly, I would say in matatus, ata makanga, some of them, you see some that are quite nice. Maybe the mom has entered the matatu. She has like a load of bags. The makanga holds the baby for her. The mom engages the matatu with the bags and then sits down and then says thank you as she takes the baby. And I find that very, very sweet and nice of conductors. But it's very hard to understand, it's very hard actually to judge these moms instead of understand them. If you're that person like me, change. Go watch the film, understand this mom, then change. Or change and then go watch the film. Anyway, so we proceed with the journey. She alights somewhere at I think it was an orphanage. And there's this sister, a white sister, Mzungu. She's called Sister who? Sister Magdalene, yeah. And she says, Sister Magdalene, hi, can you watch my baby? I have an interview. And the sister tells her, no, we can't leave because the mothers come and leave their children here and they don't come back. Which I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know whether to be angry or to understand the point that this sister is trying to make. Like, yes, nakujua, but najuaje you won't come and leave your baby here and disappear. And I was like, that's actually quite interesting. But at the same time, we have been with Juliana since she woke up in the morning. And we you also have hope that Juliana will find somebody to help her with the baby so that she can go for this interview. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So Juliana goes to, she gets to the office. She's about to enter the interview room with a baby, and she's told, sorry, you can go with that child. And she's there. There's a guy, quite interesting again. Like this film, honestly, there are certain, I don't know what to call them, contrasts. Like you would expect that this lady who was telling Juliana, you can't go in with a child, you'd expect that she would be the one to say, I will watch the child for you. Guess who offers? A gentleman. He's also part of the people being interviewed, the interviewees. And she says, don't worry, you can watch the child. I have two of my own. Trust me, I know how to deal with kids. And Juliana is so thankful. Like, she can't do asante sana nini nini. And she enters, and the interview is going well until the baby starts crying. And also, like at this specific moment where she has the baby, she's talking about, I will give my energy, time, and attention to this job. Immediately, the baby starts crying in the background. What is that? There's a name it's called in film. I don't know why I've forgotten the name. Juxtaposition? No. Like there's a name. If you know the name, nikumbushe. I can't remember that name. But there's a name. Yani time yenye anasema, I will give my energy, time, and attention. The baby starts crying. Of course, she's a mom. She turns around like, and then, something also else interesting. Immediately after that, the interviewer is a woman, is a lady. She tells her sorry about that. And she also hurries up to go and check like what's going on. And at that specific moment, you can see both of their maternal instincts. Like these are two women, because the gentlemen who are also part of the interviewing committee, like they're still seated. But these two ladies, Juliana and the interviewee lady, both walk out. And Juliana runs and finds her baby is crying. Mtoto amewekwa chini. I think the baby Anna had bapped on Mark. Mark is the guy who had offered to watch the baby. And the secretary, receptionist, I don't know what her name was, I told Juliana, you can't enter the interview room with a child, is also helping the man to wipe off whatever the milk that the baby has bapped. And I'm like, I would expect the man is wiping himself, and this secretary or this receptionist, whatever her job role was, is trying to calm down the baby. But it's the other way around. Wale akantoto chini, this lady is like frantically trying to wipe the man. I'm like, what is this? And of course, Juliana also, out of, I think, sheer embarrassment of being a mom, that, sorry, my child has done this to you, also tries to help. And the guy's like, no, it's fine. Another thing, Juliana at that moment tells this lady, her name was Jane. Let me stop calling her the receptionist or assistant or whatever. Jane tells Jane, just give me a chance. Let me go back with the baby. I was about to finish. Like nimebakisha kidogo. Because alikuwa kwa question ya mwisho, like, why should we give you this job? Which in most cases you find that the last question before they ask you, do you have any questions for us? And most of you hamnanga maswali. If you're looking for a job, look for something that you can ask these people. Ask them about your so what will be my roles? What is expected? Will I be support? Just go and Google before you go to an interview. Anyway, back to film. Sorry, I'm giving you tips about job searching. Well, I was in that period for a long time, 6 months to almost 1 year. So trust me, I totally related with that role, not in terms of motherhood, but in terms of apple party interview. And of course, Jane tells Juliana, I'm sorry, your time's up. You can't go in. Mark, go ahead. And we're like, what? And the look the interview lady gave Juliana, because Juliana was looking at her like her eyes were literally talking. From what I understood, they were telling her, please give me a chance. Please, like, have mercy. The look of disgust on the interviewer, I was like, what? Mbona unamwangalia hivyo? She's a woman like you. I thought you would understand. And that was it. And she takes her baby, defeated, walking home, and we see her crying somewhere in the streets of town. And I could feel her pain. Unaenda kutafutia huyu mtoto, amelia, ukashindwa kufocus. clearly you've lost the interview. Again, one thing with interviews, trust me, like 90% of the time, you will know whether you're going to get a call back or not. Even though you say you don't, trust me, you already know. You already know these people are not going to call me back. By the time you're walking out of that room, based on how you answered their questions and the next question they asked you. In my interviews, all the ones that I've gone to, except one, which I will actually disclose, it was at DNR Studios, and I was going for an interview there to be a production assistant. It was so cold. I remember I was shaking because of the colds. I don't know whether, I'm pretty sure it was because of the cold, because I had sinuses and sometimes cold affects me. I mean, if you've listened to the first, second podcast, you've definitely had me come on here with a cold and review a film. It's hard. And I was shaking the whole time. Now that I think about it, I think the interviewers walikuwa tu like, this girl is fearful, she's afraid, she's probably not going to fit the role. And I remember one question that I was asked. They asked me, you'll be working with celebrities. Are you going to be able to handle that? Ile baridi ilikuwa inanigongea time, nilikuwa natetemeka. But I've worked with celebrities before. It was no big deal, but trust me, after that question, what is your salary expectation? Kapish, nilijua tu hii job imeenda. I have not gotten this one. Na nikaenda tu, I just called my mom and told her I don't think it went well. Just come pick me, let's go home. And that was it. Anyway, back to Juliana. So Juliana is crying in the streets and I can feel her pain. And she's walking, alafu mtu wa boda boda anamnini. Oh, no. She goes to a lady and tells her, like, it was like a small, I think ni kibandaski. Akauliza, naweza nyonyesha mtoto hapa? She's like, yes. The attendant tells her, hey, I think she brought her either tea or water. I couldn't see the content well. I think it was tea. Juliana places a leso on top of the table, alafu akekila mtoto juu. Then after that, like, the baby does not stop crying. One thing in this film, Talia Jasmine alilia. I hope alilipwa vizuri. Mtoto alilia. Like, the entire 90% of the film, this baby was crying. And crying, and crying, and crying. Niko tu like, imagine if you had a baby like that. You think it's colic, I don't know. I think like current motherhood, like the present mothers, I will call them zillennials, not Gen Zs. Most of us are Googling things online about motherhood. Like, the baby is crying. What do I do when my baby is crying? I know most of young moms are doing that. Can I blame them? No, honestly, I don't blame them. It's the first thing that I also, as a Gen Z, would do. But I guess we need to have conversations about motherhood and what you can do. But then again, without forgetting the fact or negating the fact that children are different. The firstborn, like, actually, the writer of this film was saying that the experience they had with their firstborn, I think near story she was giving. I'm not really sure whether it was her story. But she was saying that the experience that they had with the firstborn and then with the secondborn was very different. Like, unapata firstborn ni nywe, and then secondborn shows you fire. You're like, I've been here. You know, you start doing things the same, the way you were doing with the firstborn. And then you're shocked. It's not working. Firstborn alikuwa apenda hivi, secondborn sasa ni very, very different. So honestly, like, I was like, too, mi mtoto analia hivyo, I don't know. So Juliana, like, we can see her spacing out. The baby will not stop crying. And for a second, I'm really not sure what she was trying to do, but I think it is what she was trying to do. I'm not sure, but to some extent, that's what I believe she was doing. This is what I think. Juliana stands up and she starts walking away very, very fast. She has left the baby on top of the table at the kibandaski. So the attendant of the kibandaski anakuja anapata, mtoto analia hapa, mamake ameenda. Ako like, madam, mmeacha mtoto, madam. And she runs up and catches up with Juliana. And Juliana is like, she's shocked. I would say she was shocked that she left the baby. She shocked herself. That's how I interpreted it. That's what I saw in her eyes. She was shocked that she had left her baby there. And she says, nilikuwa naendea kitu pale kwa duka lakini hata nitaenda nikienda home. And this woman looks at her like, I'm not so sure about your intentions. Gives her the baby, tells her, be careful. Like, children nowadays are being stolen. Do you think that's what Juliana was thinking about, whether this kid will be stolen or not? Of course not. I think she just wanted some peace. Like some peace and quiet. Can this baby stop crying so that I can think, breathe? And then she tells her, I've left my bag, let me go pick it up. And the lady's like, no, ndakuletea bag yako. Akampea, akakuja akamwambia, and you look better care, like, look after your baby in a better way. Do I think that's insulting? A bit, from somebody who does not know. But at the same time, still from somebody who does not know, they were probably right. Like, you're leaving your baby on the street. Take better care of your baby. And Juliana is walking home. Mtu anduthi akakuja, like, akaswerve around her. And she shouts, "We kwani wani niko na mtoto?" And I'm like, a few seconds ago you had left that baby on top of a kibandaski and you are walking away. What do you mean? You are about to leave that kid. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And she goes home. Knocks at the neighbor's door. So the neighbor who has to watch the baby, Mama Mokami, knocks. Mama Mokami is not there. Then she goes to her house. She finds it's a mess. Clearly the landlord was here. Amemess up na vitu. Nyumba haina mlango. Na some frames are on the wall. They're all on the floor. So it's like coming to a home without a door. And you have a baby. She places the baby on the bed and the baby just won't stop crying. Like, that is the scene, like, tuniko tu, like, so mama amechoka. The baby has been crying since minute 1. Like, after the first 15 seconds of the baby shower, kutoka hapo, mtoto tu alikuwa analia. Ananyamaza kidogo, analia tena. Ananyamaza kidogo, analia tena. Niko tu like, wow. Imagine the mothers who go through this. Like, the first 6 months of your baby's life, they are crying every day. You don't know what to do. You probably don't have a partner. There's nobody. You don't have a strong support system. Your mom is in shags. She's not there to help. Your friends who did a baby shower and made all kinds of promises that we will be there for you, you can count on us, are nowhere to be seen. It's just you, yourself, and you. And now this baby who's depending on you to take care of them, and they can't tell you what they want. They're only crying. Madness. So, Juliana sits there, and again, I can see Juliana leaving her body. She just wants some silence. She takes a pillow and smothers the baby. And all of a sudden, it's quiet. I was relieved on that part of the film, as dark as it sounds. Niko tu like, hey, mtoto ameacha kulia. And then niko like, wait a minute. Mtoto ameacha kulia kwa nini? Hatujamnyamazisha. Ameuliwa na pillow. Like, she smothered the baby with a pillow. And then she realizes what she's done. She's like, Anna, baby, wake up. Mommy is here. And if you had doubted whether Juliana loved the baby, at that point you could see Juliana loves her baby. This is her daughter. She loves her. She has named this baby according to how the Sister Magdalene said, you named her after your late mom, Anna. And she was like, yes. So you can see that Juliana does love the baby. And at that point, I'm like, wait, what? What? Is this how it ends? Go watch the film to find out if she literally killed the baby or she did not. I'm also not sure. I will quite frankly say I'm not very sure. That is the synopsis. I don't think I've ever given a full synopsis of a film, like from from A to Z. I think it's because I've watched this film 3 times. Because I was just like, wait, what? Every time. Let's go to kwa Kiswahili, twende kwa vipengele vya filamu hii. Cinematography number 1. Like I said, it's Jim Bishop. The pictures were so good. Something to note, something interesting that made this film better were the handheld shots. Like, you could notice them. And every time, we could feel like we were in Juliana's space and we were there with her. And when she was feeling something, we were feeling it with her. When the baby was crying, when she's confused, like when she's trying to like hush the baby, like baby nyamaza niko hapa nini nini, we were there with her. And I think that really immersed us deeply into the film. And I was like, this is nice. This is really nice. Like, nasikia niko hapo, nasikia kama mimi ni Juliana. And the whole time, that's why watching this film, by the way, it was like stress, like ni stressful, but not bad stress. If you as a filmmaker, you're making your audience feel stressed, you're doing something, you're making them feel something. And I think that's the point. So the whole time, una feel too stressed, like, guy, japata job, guy mtu analia, tutampea nini anyamaze, the whole time. And I loved that. The lighting was amazing. It brought out, like, there were times where we could see a silhouette and I was like, that brings out a dark side or an unknown side or an unsure side. It brought out different feelings of Juliana, different emotions that she was going through. I absolutely loved how they all worked together. The sound was amazing. I'm telling you, when I say the sound was amazing, you see how that child was crying and you could hear it. I would say they like, whoever was handling sound did it very, very well. And also the editor. Making a baby cry for all those minutes and make it as annoying as possible. I don't think that's easy. I don't. Costume. I loved Juliana's outfit when she was going to look for the job. It looked like a young mom who's definitely been up there, but now she's a mom. Like her earrings, her coat, and then her top, her blouse rather. It looks like it's easy for a mom to nyonyesha, but not at the same time because she has to like open. So you can tell it's somebody who has been stuck, somebody who was definitely not a mom, ashakwa a mom, but haja managed to change everything about that. I was like, that's really good, that's really good. Makeup, yeah, it was okay. I mean, there weren't any significant makeup scenes where we can say the makeup was bad. Makeup was okay. Set design was amazing. They made Juliana's house look really good and the office as well. And the number of extras in this film, by the way, niliona tu kwa hiyo the church, niko tu like, yani this is an organized mess. That is what I like about film. It was literally an organized mess. People are moving around in Ininim, and you can imagine the director told this one, like, you move around there, and I'm like, that's amazing. The music score topped it all off for me. Like, every aspect of this film, the music score was amazing. That song literally explained Juliana's emotions and feelings and journey. The music score was amazing. Wow, I literally have said everything in this film is amazing. Well, something that I don't think is amazing is the ending. I know I said I would go watch it and then come tell me how it ended. I feel like they really brought out the problem very well. Like, it was a powerful statement. Like, A to Z ni problems zenye mothers hupitia. From finding somebody to watch your child, you're trying to look for a job. Some people do not respect your space as a mom, mental health. But how do you cope with it? I think that's what they didn't give a solution. So this film has no solution. It's a good conversation to have, but I don't know. I think it would be great if there was a solution at the end given for any mother who will watch this, because they can see and relate. Like, they can see and understand. It's very relatable, I think, to most moms, if not all moms. But what is the solution for these moms? I think that's what the film didn't capture. Something interesting to note. The director is Eric Mwangi. He's a man. Like, this film is about motherhood. Something else to note, I did a bit of research. This director does not have a baby. Hana mtoto, so he doesn't know about fatherhood. He probably has a nephew here, a nephew there, nieces. but he doesn't have a baby of his own. I think he did a great job directing and trying to show the problem. I think he did an amazing job. Like, he brought it all out very, very well. The borrowing of the story from Shelley Gitonga, that was amazing, because clearly now see we have like a very good story, just not a story with a good ending, or rather with no solution. I don't know, would have loved maybe if she went like joined something to help her. And some interesting things to note. Or rather, the conversation that this brings about is about postpartum depression. I probably don't understand postpartum depression well because I have not been there in the motherhood journey, but about 10 to 32% of mothers in Africa go through it. And the effects that it could lead to is psychosis or infanticide. We had a story, Juicy, after we went for the femicide march, like just that week, there was a mom who had killed her baby, stabbed the son, right in the stomach. And I'm like, wait, what? And you start to see why these things are happening. You don't have a support system. You don't know how to deal with it. It's your first time. These things will happen. So if you are near a mom next to you, if you know any mom around you, they are a young mom, first time mom, these people need help. And I know most of us end up thinking, I'm very guilty of this. Kwanza party baby showers. I remember one baby shower that I went to of a friend who we went to the same high school in. And I was part of the people who gave that speech of, we will always be there for you and the baby. You can call us when you need us. Rich aunties, nini nini. Did they ever see me again? No. Why? I thought they needed space to bring up their baby. Is it a good excuse? Of course not. It's a terrible excuse. Help these people who are around you. They definitely need your help. It's their first time raising a whole human. And this is also one thing that I think about parenting. You know, we blame most of our parents for how they brought us up and the traumas that they have brought to us. But honestly, I don't think it is intentional on their side. I really don't think so. Because literally they were being parents for the first time. I read this somewhere of a parent telling their daughter that when I was parenting you, I was also growing. Imagine at my age, my mom already had me. I was like 2 or 3 years. I was 3 years old. 3 or 2. I was 3 years old. And me right now, I don't think I can like be able to do that. I don't think so. So I'm like, we really, really should extend grace. I'm not saying that we put childhood traumas on our kids or give them traumas because, you know, we're doing it for the first time. Do research, be better, do better, but also pass grace. Give grace to these young moms. If you're a deadbeat, yes, I know it's a film podcast, but we call out people here. If you're a deadbeat, help that person. Help, like she's going through something. Postpartum depression, like depression can also affect the dad who's with like a couple who's bringing up a baby. It can also affect the dad. So it's not just for moms, but this film clearly brings it out well for moms. If you haven't watched this film, go watch it. Have the conversation with people around you, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Now, how much or the rating that I would give this film? I would actually give it a 9. Yep. I know I say they didn't bring out the story, and the story forms a huge part of the film, but I have never seen a film bring out a problem so well. Like, so well. From beginning to the end, we already know this woman is going through a hard time being a mom. So I would give it a 9 out of 10. They can do better. Next time, produce a film, please, like, give us a solution at the end so that we can actually use it as an example for women. Because I'm sure if you're going to show this film somewhere to young moms, you now have to, like, put a guidance and counseling after. Not that you wouldn't put it, but it's now very necessary. Lest they go and smother their kids. So I would say this was a very, very good film. It was a very good film. Considering it's a short film, it's a very good film. Again, if you haven't watched it, you can find it on My Movies Africa. That will be all for today on this film. Thank you so much, guys, for listening in. This has been an amazing episode. Remember, you can find my podcast on Spotify, on Pocket Cast, and on Google Podcast. Until next week on Monday, it's a wrap. Bye!